Kevin Ezell, I recognize you as the President of the North American Mission Board.
Thank you, Mr. President. I've been called many things, and Sandy's a good one to be called. Thank you, Mr. President. And also, Mr. President, thank you for featuring our planners and encouraging our people to pray for our planners. It's a privilege today to bring you an update from the North American Mission Board about all that our missionaries, chaplains, and churches are doing to reach North America for Christ. At NAM, it's all about the gospel. Whether it's through church planning, compassion ministry, or evangelism resources and training, our mission is to make Jesus known across North America. That's why we exist. And we only exist because of your generosity. Last year, you gave the largest Annie Armstrong offering in the history of the Southern Baptist Convention. You gave $66.5 million. That's $5 million more than ever before. And we are so incredibly grateful. Thank you, Southern Baptist. This slide shows the growing commitment among Southern Baptists to invest in the work being done because you see the fruit of the labor. We've seen a 22% growth in the Annie giving since 2010 and record giving 4 out of the last 5 years, the 1 year being the COVID year. So thank you because you give. It's only because you give that we were able to do what we do. Your giving allows our missionaries and chaplains to share the gospel on the front lines. I'm grateful for General Doug Carver that you heard from this morning, who does a great job leading our chaplaincy corps. They serve in dangerous, faraway places. Right now, your Southern Baptist chaplains are serving U.S. troops stationed just outside Ukraine. Others are in hospitals, prisons, small and large businesses. Because you give, we can equip and serve pastors with evangelism training and resources. We are dealing swiftly and thoroughly with the unfortunate news of a staff transition we had in evangelism recently, and it will remain a top priority at NAM. But in the meantime, our mission to serve and equip pastors and churches with evangelism resources will continue as our urgent focus. I'm grateful that Tim Dowdy, a longtime local church pastor in the Atlanta area, has agreed to lead our evangelism team as our executive director. Over his tenure at Eagles Landing First Baptist, his church baptized an average of 132 people each year. His passion, he will bring that same passion to this office, and I'd like for you to meet him and for him to bring just a few brief words, because I know you're hungry. We're trying to make this fast. But Tim, if you'd share.
Hey, listen, I really appreciate the opportunity to serve in the area of evangelism. It's a full circle for me. When I was 11 years old, went to a RA camp at Panama City Beach, Florida, and a teenager that had been equipped by a Southern Baptist church to share his faith sat down with me on the beach, opened his Bible, shared with me Jesus, and I came to know Christ, forever changing my life. And now to get to be a part of that team, working with you to reach people with the gospel is a phenomenal opportunity, and I'm greatly honored and privileged to be a part of it. I would just say to you, listen, it's gonna take all of us working together diligently, day in and day out, faithfully sharing the good news of the gospel to change the world. I mean, our aim is really to help our family of churches share the gospel everywhere with everyone until the whole world hears. So thank you for allowing me to be a part.
Thank you, Tim. Because you give, we have established 19 Send Relief Ministry Centers across North America. The newest 3 are noted in orange on this slide. These are places to meet local needs over the long term. We invite you to send your mission teams and bring your volunteers. You can serve through ministry centers and learn from experts and replicate that work back home. Because you give, we can help you plant churches everywhere for everyone. I say that all the time because NAM does not plant churches. Churches plant churches. And Southern Baptist, I'm happy to say that you are taking that task seriously. Take a look at the gospel difference that you are making in major American cities where the majority of our lostness lives. These maps show where we were with church plants back in 2010 and where we are today. First of all, look at New York back in 2010. Now, because of your faithful giving and your faithful sending, look what it looks like in 2021. Because you give and because you send, Washington, D.C. looked like this in 2010. But because of your faithfulness, it looks like this in 2021. Los Angeles looked like this in 2010, and I'm so thankful that today, because of your faithful giving, it looks like this in 2021. There are more than 9,400 churches have been planted since 2010. You have planted consistently, year in and year out. Thank you, Southern Baptist. If we keep this rate up, in 2030, 1/3 of the SBC will have been planted since 2010. And Southern Baptist, we are committed to doing absolutely everything we can to assist you in this effort. I'm grateful, so thankful and grateful for Vance Pittman has joined our team this year to lead our church planting efforts as the president of Send Network. Vance has been a faithful local church pastor for over 30 years, and he has a passion for planting evangelistic churches that will hold up the gospel and introduce new people to the Lord. Vance, if you also would come and just share a moment of your passion about church planting. Thank you for being a part of our team.
Thank you. It is an incredible honor to be able to serve this convention in this way. I believe in order to accomplish the Great Commission, we must be about planting new churches. The Great Commission is about making disciples. When we make disciples, churches are born. And as we birth churches, we join in God's activity of expanding His kingdom in cities and nations all over the world. And I believe the greatest days for us in planting new churches is in front of us. So I look forward to what God is going to do and how God is going to continue to use us to accomplish His mission. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Pastors, NAM is grateful for the privilege to serve you as you lead your churches. Thank you for all that you're doing to take the gospel to North America and beyond, and together we are truly having a kingdom impact. Mr. President, that concludes my report. More than happy to answer any questions, but would prefer not to.
Report. 2A, you have a question?
So, Kevin, Pastor Greg Davidson, Trinity Baptist Church, Vacaville, right here.
Hey,
You
Greg.
and I are friends. I planted a church with you in the East. You rocked, man. I could never feel more supported, loved, encouraged by, and trained by you guys. But now I'm in the West.
Right.
And with my privilege of serving as chairman of the missions committee here at California Baptist Convention, getting to know our DOMs, this last week, I called all 29 of them. And I just asked them how they were doing. And we've got guys that, you know, who have lost all their funding from the North American Mission Board. As you know, you cut it off. And I talked to one guy, he said, you know, I lost my health insurance because of that, and I have kidney failure, and I'm in a desperate situation. Talked to several guys who said, I'm leaving the state, I can't afford it anymore. And so, Kevin, as a friendly appeal, because I love you, man, I would like to make an appeal to you, and it's a desperate appeal, on behalf of those in California. We don't have the resources you have in the East. We're in a very secular environment. And I want to make a desperate appeal on behalf of my dear brothers who are the lifeblood of our churches out here in California. It's not like it is in the East. We desperately depend on these men. So what I would like for you to do is to meet with the trustees and consider our very desperate situation and consider reversing those funds because we need them, and this is a cry for help from California Baptists and our directors of missions who I'm representing today.
Thank you, brother.
Dr. Ezell?
Well, thank you, Greg. And as we talked for some time on the phone in regards to associations, when he's talking about cutting funds, is we do not fund associational missionaries, DOMs or AMSs any longer. We're very grateful for associations. We have some incredibly amazing strategic leaders in AMS positions all across North America. But the North American Mission Board, we do not feel like it's the most strategic thing to do with our funds to fund those positions. If churches want an association, then the churches should go together when they can afford that and do that. What we found in states in the West and in the Midwest and the Northeast is associations are combining to be more strategic. That's actually happening here in LA. It's also happening towards San Francisco as they're looking to be more strategic. I wish there were enough money to fund every association everywhere. But this is, as I told Greg, this is something we did 10 years ago. And we addressed that 10 years ago and said, look, we're grateful for them, but we're going to have to focus. If we're going to plant churches like we need to plant churches, we have to focus on the church plants. I'm grateful for our associations. We have some very strategic ones, especially here in Orange County. But Greg, I appreciate your heart, and we want to do everything we can to support associations, just not fund those positions.
All right. Other questions? 2A, you have a question for Dr. Ezell.
Yes, Kevin, I just wanted to say, you and I had a conversation, and look, I know your heart. And you and I have spoken together in conferences and had personal conversations.
Brother, I think one question is, I'm sorry, I think I made a mistake. 7A, you have a question?
Yes.
Thank you.
Ethan Hardy from Peninsula Baptist Church in Portland, Oregon. This year, our convention has been, I think, shocked and somewhat scandalized by the, it seems, more pervasive sin of plagiarism in our pulpits.
Cut him off. Listen, sir, a question for Dr. Ezell. Is there a question? We have just 33 seconds left. Anyone with a question? There are no questions. Dr. Ezell, thank you.
Hey, thank you. And Greg, you got my cell phone. Call me for that second question, all right? So thank you so much.
Thank you.